Assalamu alaikum. Today we will be talking about our second agent, and that is basically about making user chat interactions. Like this agent will be having user chat interactions. So the objective of this project is to make an agent that will be smarter than the agent that we have previously made, and the additional things that will be integrated in this agent will be human assistant. The second thing, that the agent should pause and ask the user for extra information if something is unclear. Then the third objective of making this agent is to personalize its answers using long-term memory. Then the fourth thing is offloading conversation to human. Now, like these are the objectives of this agent. The requirements that we are in need of, basically, that it should have human assistant interrupts, then we should be having dynamic user clarifications, then long-term memory for personalization. So let's understand this, what this exactly means. If we talk about human assistant interrupts, it is also known as static interrupts. And it means that if the chatbot um, in our agent, we'll be adding a feature where the chatbot can pause and connect to a human assistant if needed. Like we'll be writing a code in our agent, and if there will be a need of any human assistant at that point, then the chatbot will be providing us, or the agent will be providing us the facility to talk to a to the human assistant. Now, this is also known as static interrupt. And um, uh, we will be deciding by writing the code that when actually that if chatbot can't answer a question, so or doesn't have enough information, so then it will stop its workflow and it will ask, excuse me, it will ask a human, uh, like it will send the question to the human for assistance. The second thing is dynamic interrupt. Like in this agent, if the uh, if the user is asking some question and the chatbot or the agent feels that the question is still unclear, so the chatbot will be pausing its workflow and it will be asking the user some further question so that the question can be clarified and then it can be answered in a more precise way. The third thing that is optional, but we'll be integrating that into our agent, is personalizing use. We need to personalize it using long-term memory. So these are the things. Now using LangGraph, this is a kind of structure or a graph that we'll be making basically. So let's understand this graph first. First of all, we have this start, then input, then we have check human, check clarifications, and categorization, human intervention, clarification, process message, memory update, and then output. So let's understand these parts, that what they exactly mean or how our chatbot will be working. First of all, I think it's clear by now that it's a smart assistant that helps students with their questions. So that chatbot basically is a help to the students to answer some of their uh, to answer their questions for the subject of English, maths, and science. And the first step over here is a student ask a question. So it's the same as a student is asking a question in the class and the student is raising the hand. So this start and input uh, box over here, it means the same, that the user is asking a question from the teacher. So here the teacher is a the agent or the chatbot, right? The second step is check human. Now that is the static interrupt that we just talked about in the at the start of the video, that this chatbot will be having static interrupt. Like if the system first checks if the question needs a real human teacher. For example, if our question from the user will be having some words like urgent, emergency, so the chatbot itself will um, like shift that question to the human teacher. So using this check human code in our agent, the help from the human will be taken, and that will be known as static interrupt. Dynamic interrupt will be done by asking more questions from the user. For example, if in the class, if a student asks a question and the teacher is not clear about the question, so the teacher will ask more questions to clarify the question, so that she can be answering it in a more precise way. In the same way, if the agent is not clear about the question of the user, it will be asking more questions from the user so that precise answers can be given. So that is known as the dynamic interrupt. So this check clarification code is for dynamic interrupt, and this check human code is for static interrupt. The next thing is categorization. As we know that this chatbot will be helping basically for three major subjects: English, science, and maths. So first of all, when the user will ask a question, the chatbot will categorize it that this question is related to which subject. Is it related to maths, science, or English? Now, this is like deciding which teacher should answer the question. The next part of this working of this chatbot, you will be watching in the next video, inshallah. Thank you.